Hello, welcome to Creative You Podcast. I know I'm running late tonight, but I finally got to spend a little time with grandkids, and you may hear them in the background being noisy. There's a lot going on, and I have a lot of projects I'm starting. I must be crazy. So there's always these little projects like this. This is Passionate Crafter. I love her things. So who doesn't love the furry yarns that came out? And so this is a project you think, I can just do this quickly. Like I can do this today. Well, I started the size 5 to 9 and on a worsted weight yarn. This is Ella Rae Classic Superwash. And they're just too thin to be soles of slippers. So I did a smaller needle. This is a 4 millimeter and doubled the yarn. And I still have some holes, but at least I feel like it's sturdier. I feel like the other would have been just way too flimsy. So this will be the bottom. And then I'm getting ready to do the second color. This is a free pattern. And it's either going to be blue or red. I need to ask Nolan what he wants. And then I'm going to start working on the second color. I can't believe no one has done these yet. This is by Passionate Craft number 2. She's from New Jersey. And the same gal that has the Minion-inspired blanket. And I did my first square of that, and wouldn't you know, I can't find it. So I have bright cotton colors picked out for this. Of course, a yellow, bright orange, red, green, purple, and a light purple. It's a lot of colors that you need. A light pink and a bright pink. So I hope to do a block a day and then show you what I've been finishing. And I was playing around. I feel like I'm doing a lot of crochet news lately and not much knitting, but it kind of goes in spurts. I was wondering if any of you did the crocheted Alpine stitch. I like it a lot. It's a series of post stitches with rows of single crochets in between. And it's really, really nice. I was thinking of designing a cowl with this and then another stitch. So if you haven't checked out the Alpine stitch in crochet, give it a try, especially if you like post stitches. Now, when you own a yarn shop, you have yarn to sell and you need to come up with patterns to sell that yarn. And so I was looking for a blanket pattern that I would be able to use Lamb's Pride Bulky Super Wash. This one is called Finches, and it's like a tan, but it has little threads of like a reddish color through it. This is Dragonfly Green, and this one is Shane's Red. So I need this is a diagonal weave pattern, and I need 3 colors to do it. I wonder why I'm having trouble finding this pattern. That's funny. So I need a main color and then a weave and then a color for the middle. So I think this in the middle, this around it, and then this is my main color. So we shall see. Most of the blankets, the wave is done horizontally, but somebody did it vertically, and I think I liked it a lot better. I also have this yarn from Virginia Cotton, Cestari yarn, and it does feel a little rough, but you know, I want to try it. I want to see what it's all about, how it wears, how it feels. And I am kind of an old-fashioned girl, so if you can see this, what I thought I was doing was individual blocks. But what I see, this is a $5 pattern, I think, is that it's done all in one. So that's kind of surprising. So I can't wait to start that. Kind of like maybe like a filet crochet. And let me show you that other blanket that it's called New Wave Throw. Sorry for the phone noise. So as you can see, it does go horizontally. And it's interesting to see people's colors. This is the lady that did hers vertically, and I like that a lot. So I think you want a darker color and maybe a medium and a light. And I'm eager to get going. For the person that likes blues, a navy and a medium. For the person that likes reds and blacks. But I do think I like it better vertically. There's another one. Yellows, grays, and creams. Oh, that one's pretty. Wow. I think that one's my favorite, and that's done with a bunch of colors. And then you have a bunch of ends to weave in, unless it's a self-striping yarn. So yes, they use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors. But wow, from a distance, it's really pretty. So you want those dark darks and you want those light lights and you want them together. So what else? I came upon this article in a Vogue crochet book called Embellished Truths. And this historian, art historian, did a museum piece using crochet doilies. Now, machines don't crochet, so this all had to be home done. She said, I wanted the beauty of the piece to pull people in. This was an exhibit in filet crochet. And she's an art history teacher. So I don't know. I think that is pretty neat. What do you think? Can you imagine a wall done in that? Or my yarn shop window? Like, how neat would that be? Huh. So, last, the local yarn shop Shawl, which was called Breathe and Hope. And I think that's a better picture. So, part 1 and 2, then you have a ribbing part, and so here's part 1, and when this is blocked, this is going to be very, very pretty, because when it's blocked, you're going to see the stitches that were knitted in the row below. It's not just going to look like garter and stockinette stitch. But when you get into the ribbing part, she does a really beautiful edging, which I would have never thought of putting that into a pattern. Lisa Price and I are kind of racing along doing this, so all went well, but she sent me a picture and said my edge is wonky. The definition of wonky is not straight. And I said, yes, me too. Now you change needle sizes when you go from one to the other because the ribbing pulls in. So you go up 2 needle sizes. There's my back. But, and I'm not blaming anybody, but we both got the same kind of wonky results. Now, once it's blocked, I don't think it's going to help mine because this is really loose. I'm thinking this got drawn in and this is tight, but the garter stitch edgings on the bigger needle are much looser than this. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have to crochet an edging or what I'm going to do. It is quite lovely. So I'll do more of this and then more of that. So we'll see. It would be nice to hear from the rest of you. You can see on her pattern the rows and then the ribbing, the rows and then the ribbing, but I can't really see the edging. So, or would it be wiser to say wait and let other people do it and then see how it works out? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to say. So how is your day going? You know, in order to stay, what's the word, vibrant, you need new experiences. Being at home, being quarantined, whatever the word is, if you're not having new interactions and experiences, you kind of get stagnant. And you know what stagnant water looks like. So books are a good source of entertainment. You learn in your own way. You're interacting with the characters. I just read a wonderful book called Troublesome Creek. It is a coming of age story about an innocent girl who doesn't want to grow up. And, you know, back then it was okay for a 26 or 28-year-old man to marry a 15-year-old girl. So it reminded me of a story worth telling. My neighbor Nancy is a nurse. She's now 80 couple years old and still working. And when she was young, she worked in the backwoods of Kentucky. And she said she remembers going into the one home, I think he was a coal miner, and his bib overalls were so greasy that they just stood up all by themselves. You looked at them and thought, where's the person? So she was nursing this elderly woman. And this woman began to tell her that when she was a young girl, she really didn't get to go anywhere. She had a younger sister who had health problems, and she was often helping with her sister, and she just didn't get to do social things. So even if she's like the girl in the book and she loved where she was, she didn't have interaction with other people her age. She was 15 years old, I think. So there was a school dance or coming up, a dance. And she bugged her mother. She really wanted to go. Please, Mom, I'll do the chores. I'll do this. I'll do that. And her mother said, okay. So she's at the dance. And you know how that is. Boys over there, girls over there. And I've heard guys say, wow, it is the longest walk in the world to walk the whole way across the gymnasium floor. And then if she says no, the whole way back with your head hanging. So this boy that she didn't know passed a note to her. And it said, will you marry me? Now, she had been raised very subservient. So she said yes, right? So they got married. On their wedding, the evening of their wedding, they were sitting on the sofa and he tried to kiss her. So she ran into the bedroom and locked the door. The next morning, he got up for work, packed his lunch and went off to work. his mother came knocking at the door and said, "Honey, let's talk." She said, "Did your mama ever tell you about the birds and what happened, honey?" And she said, "He tried to kiss me, and that's going to get me a baby, and I'm not gonna kiss and get a baby." So his mother gently told her about the birds and the bees. They went on to be married a long, long, happy life and had many, many, many children. So it's a cute story. Keep your smile and enjoy this beautiful spring weather. We have a flood watch in effect, I think, tomorrow. But today was beautiful. Keep those needles and crochet hooks going and shine, baby, shine. See you next time.